Well, it depends on what day it is. There are, oh, I have so many. Applejack, most definitely is my favorite of all time. Applejack, and probably because it has my name in it, I think. Um, but I Will Always Love You is a huge one for me. When she wrote I Will Always Love You, she wrote it because she knew that she needed to leave the Porter Wagner show. She knew that she needed to go uh, the next level. She knew she needed to grow, expand. That's what it was. She knew she needed to expand, and she wasn't moving in the space that she was in. She was kind of stagnant. She had reached the top, really, when it came to the Porter Wagner show, and she had really already had such a big career, a great career, because of Porter Wagner. Well, not because of Porter Wagner, because of Dolly, but thanks to the Porter Wagner show, she did, and that's when she didn't know. Not only did she not know how to tell him, but he would not listen to her. So she did the one thing that she knew best, and she wrote him a song. And I love the lyrics, if I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go. And yet I know that I'll think of you each step of the way. And this is with many people. And this is with many things, I believe. This is with jobs, this is with relationships, this is with friendships, this is with people in our own families that we know, the people that we love the most. Sometimes we know that if we stay, we're just going to be in their way. So we're going to go, and we're going to think of them each step of the way. And we know in our heart of hearts, I will always love you, no matter who it is. I think every relationship, every person, friendship, relationship, brotherhood, sisterhood, mothership, father figure, has all come into our life for a specific reason that we understood even before we came to the earth plane. And so I think that, yes, that deserves to be loved. Oh, did I go off on a tangent? I mean, to answer your question, it depends on what day it is. It depends on what I'm feeling. What's another one of my favorites? Faith by Dolly Parton and Galantis. That's one I love to play. Have a little faith in me. I love her part in that song. Baby I'm Burning is always a fun one for me. I love, cleaning my house and dancing around and baby I'm burning, baby I'm burning. It's just so fun. These Old Bones is a fun one for me. I really resonate with These Old Bones. That's about an old witchy woman who could see the future. What's another one? It's Too Late to Love Me Now is one of my favorite ones because, well, it's sometimes it's just too late to love me now. Yeah, I have many different Dolly Parton favorites. Here You Come Again is a good one, especially for the men. The men in my life, they leave and then I start doing fine without them, and they come back and I'm like, what are you doing here all over again? Didn't you leave me once? Or those people that come back into your life, they say, I need a break from you. So you take your break, and then the next thing you know, you're doing fine without them. You're not thinking about them. And next thing, who is it? Ugh, just kidding. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into that situation, but I have many different favorites of Dolly. And what's really interesting is that even after all these years, I still haven't heard every song. I remember a few years back, my friend gave me access to their Spotify. And so I listened to a full Dolly Parton album. I forget what the album was called, but I heard Jeannie's Afraid of the Dark. And I was sewing and crying. Josiah was there. I remember Josiah. I had Josiah, my nephew, Josiah Hezekiah. I had him in the boppy seat, He was little. I want to say he was not even probably a year, maybe a year and a half in that boppy pillow. I'm sewing, listening to Dolly. We're having a good time, me and Josiah. And then uh, I'm sewing and I'm listening to Genie's Afraid of the Dark, and I just start crying. And I look up at Joey, my little Jojo. He starts making pucheros. He starts making sad faces because I was crying. And then he started crying, so then I picked him up and I turned on Baby I'm Burning, and we started dancing together. But she always, even I never heard all her songs. And to add to that, I can talk about Dolly all day, folks. To add to that, um, even recently I heard a song called The Games People Play, and I was like, oh wow, what a perfect time to come into my life. Not only was I being played by people, but more than one, but also my friends were being played by people, and I was able to have conversations with them, and The Games People Play came up for me, and I was like, wow, you go Dolly. And she wrote that song. I think the song was published maybe the 60s, 70s, I don't know. There's too many in her repertoire to name. 9 to 5, we'll end there. 9 to 5, because every day when I go to work, wherever I'm working at, whether it's in the hotel, whether I go to speak on a stage, whether I go to serve in ministry, whether I go to table tip, whether I go to someone's house just to give a word of encouragement and a shoulder to cry on or lean on, I always think it's our work, Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, a shot of Fireball, yawn and stretch and try to come to life. But it gets me going, and you can always tell when it's in my head because I walk a different way and my arms start flapping like a chicken, like the Dolly Parton dance that she does. My Kiki, my grandma, oh, she used to hate it. She would always say, turn that lady off. She reminds me of a damn chicken the way she dances on that stage. But I'll walk down the hall and dance like a chicken and do my runway walk with 9 to 5 playing in my head, and because I love the work that I do. So I hope I answered your question.